can have the third alternative, which is the black marler. I thought, really though, the marler is the coloured one. No, I think you can wear the coloured one. That's the real marler. No, that's for people who are scared about sexual identity. Right, so can we get the marlers on quickly, please? Oh, brilliant views to those of you in the youth team. Right, people, you're being redirected. Wait. Right, class. Right. Okay. Over to room 19.
Anh có ơn lại mời Titi.
Room 19 immediate.
Hello. What's this one?
Room 19.
TV. Oh yeah.
We'll have another disturbance again after this. Or will we?
Why don't you write a note on the door?
Oh look, I haven't got time, boy. We've...
Yeah. Yep.
What happened then? You've broken one. You better retrieve those immediately.
I got the end.
Thank you.
Right, for the purpose of this morning, these came from the printer yesterday, but I want them back. Alright, so there's our professional... Millennium money is paid for this, the Millennium Award. What's the matter now? What is the matter? You can't...
Leave
it there. Leave it there. Anyone without a leaflet? Right, I'll have them back. Right, so everybody got that? So have a look. I think he's done a very nice job. Thank you, Rob. Also, the website, the first couple of pages of the website are now in existence. So I don't know whether you can access it yet, but it's certainly there. You just tell us when you want us to begin.
You carry on as you would normally for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I'll just wander around and get shots.
Okay.
Raj, who's your miss?
Hiya, hi Annie.
There's Raj, who's your...
Where is Roger?
I've just seen him from the car.
He's alright, just coming in now. I'm just sitting around.
It's a bit late, isn't it?
I'm ready to get into it. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just a ping.
Oh, who's done that?
It's like I can
Never.
go.
Imran.
Basically, it's my dinner time.
Usually is an M on the end of the Imran. So now we've lost the H. All I can do is apologise, and in the next print, you'll have to get it right. They've spelled his surname wrong, and I missed it. I mean, I went through the... Sorry? There's an H on. All right?
I have no idea.
Okay. Anyway, should be full stop. There. This is for Buddhism, full stop. Buddha Shakyamuni taught that we should be mindful of our thoughts. So he's... Okay.
You know,
problems or some problems you never believe the obstacles that seem to want to stop what's happening. It's a baby, some the problem with the actual the problem with the
come si charge from?
What's the matter, Paul? Sorry? What? So he's made another mistake. Tell me afterwards, and we'll put one of these to one side, and we'll circle what's wrong. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. What's the matter now, Peter?
I say yes.
I'm doing regular.
You can say yes, miss.
All right, good. Good now. We'll start now. And I'll take my... Me first. I don't want a gap. I don't want a silence.
What are you asking?
The question I said earlier on.
That's a real thing, but
You weren't sure. Okay, this is my question. We all remember what happened on the 11th of September 2001. Yeah? We were here in school when it happened. My question is this. How has the world changed since then? Somebody said to me, someone rang me from America and they said, this is the world's wake-up call, big time. So there's another question. What do you think that person meant? So 2 questions. 1, how do you think the world has changed? Has it? Since then? And number 2, was it the world's wake-up call? Over to you. Anyway. Start with the first one. How has the world changed? Has it? Anybody? Hannah? What do you think?
the security's far tighter in
Why?
all public places.
Why?
Because they don't want to...
Wait a minute, let's go back to Hannah. What did you just say? Say it again.
That security in public places is definitely tightened since the World Trade Center.
Okay. And that is because?
Because people are scared that something like that would happen again.
Okay. Do you think some people stop flying?
Probably.
Hmm.
People can't live their lives.
People haven't got the freedom to do what they want to
It's
do
like what
before.
happened in Bali. People are...
So are we talking about a rise in terrorism or a rise in the fear in people's minds? What are we talking about? Fear in people's minds? Both. All right, what are you going to say? Islam or what? What's that?
Everyone was scared of people belonging to the Islam faith because they thought that they were the same as the terrorists. So they went around attacking like our local mosque and then other places like the Swansea Synagogue and things like that in fear. So
Wasn't there someone, he was a Sikh man actually, he wasn't a Muslim, and he was beaten to death somewhere? Roger, you aware of that? You're a Sikh.
like one was shot in America.
Well, it happened, it definitely did. So what you're saying is that people suddenly became very fearful and suspicious of,
Muslims.
well, Asians.
Asian.
Anyone who looked like you, my friend.
They tagged them
Suddenly. And what?
All, they tagged them all with the same brush.
Good. Tell us more about that. What do you mean?
They all think because one man did something like the World Trade Centers that everybody who is like him is the same as him.
You mean all Muslims are like
Yeah.
Osama bin Laden? The extremists, the fundamentalist extremists. And is that true?
No.
No.
No. Okay. So, what else has happened? Anything?
The leaders have become more integral to the standard on terrorism.
Go to war.
One at a time. Holly,
He wants to go to war over it to sort everything out.
he wants to go to war against whom?
Well, all
Well, he's
terrorism.
done that. They blasted Afghanistan. Where does he want to go now?
He wants to wipe out terrorism, so he wants to go anywhere that can...
Right, Holly, I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to ask you another question. What is terrorism? What is terror?
And people are frightened of something and they don't know what to do about it.
Okay. Do you think people are frightened of bombs being dropped on them? How do you think the people and the children of Afghanistan felt?
They're all frightened because they haven't really done anything, but they're being blamed for something the leaders have done.
Like a scapegoat?
Yes.
Take the blame. Okay. Were you going to say something, Aoife? You looked as if you were going to say something. You agree? Do you want to say something? Who's the guy in charge of?
I think, do you know who's going for the Iraqs? I think
Who are we talking
the
about?
George Bush.
Who is?
The American, George Bush.
Right. Who's he upset about or frightened of? Saddam Hussein. Is he a good guy?
No. Even
No.
terrorism isn't something physical that you grab hold of and knock out.
He's using terrorism as a front to attack Saddam Hussein.
Oh.
I think he's not getting anywhere on the anti-terrorism front. He's moving on to something that we should get results from, so it'll boost morale in countries.
Do you think that's a good point? Has David said something relevant?
Saddam Hussein,
Hifa, yes.
Saddam Hussein's been a problem for a long time and they've been trying to sort it out for a while.
Mhm.
So it actually, do you mean they're not just using it as an excuse, that he actually is a problem.
True.
And what he's doing in his country and stuff, like all the ethnic cleansing and everything like that.
What
do you
is
mean?
ethnic cleansing?
Well,
My
trying
goodness.
Trying to wipe out all of a certain religion because he just doesn't like him.
Mm. So are we back to another sort of racism now? Intolerance of people because they have a different faith? We're talking about that now?
Yeah.
Okay. Who has Saddam Hussein succeeded in wiping out, as you put it?
Try and ignore Dave. When he falls on top of you, you can start to take notice of him, but until that.
Right, back to you, Aoife, what were you saying?
Well, he tried to get rid of the Iraqi Kurds just because he didn't like them. And I think it's really wrong.
What did he do?
Gas them,
Mm.
millions of hundreds of them.
Mm-hmm. And actually we can go across the world and we'd find that this is happening everywhere. Do you know, I hate that ethnic cleansing. What's clean about murdering people?
Nothing.
Nothing. It's disgusting. Hitler did it, didn't he? Who did he try and ethnic cleanse? Right, okay. What are we aware of locally in Swansea? Some of us went there. How many of you came with the GCSE group? Those of you studying Judaism now. What did? Yes, absolutely. And other things that happened there. They'd done some pretty disgusting stuff. The lady at the synagogue wouldn't tell us exactly. She was too upset. And I've been to that synagogue many times. And when she took the cover off the Sefer Torah personally, that was the most appalling thing they could do. They knew what they were doing. So that was definitely a racial attack on the synagogue to do what they did.
And the Torah means nothing to the people. It doesn't mean that most people after that.
And very beautiful, very treasured. Gone. Gone. And outside your mosque. Can you tell me something about this piece, Marla? How did that start? So it came up.
Knew that something had to be done about it.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to go.
It's even worse when you have to look back at it. You're like this.
Yeah.
Go, oh, God, no. It'll be fine.
Make a comment.
Yeah.
Right, Chris.
I think that George Bush is using terrorism.
He's committing terrorism himself.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting point. That's a warmonger. What do you mean? Keep going. Very interesting.
He's always after war all the time. Because since the attacks and since he's been president, that's all he's...
To find some other way to deal with the problem. That if he does go to war against that country, women and children are going to die. It's going to be horrendous. And it won't stop there, will it, Aoife? Will it stop there? Nah. What's going to happen? He's blind and got no teeth. Gandhi spoke about that, you know. You know, people just... You see, is war the answer, David? Is war the answer?
To get to that stage.
We shouldn't have to get to that stage, okay?
The thing is, both countries have got very strong weapons. America, probably the strongest country in the world. Capable, nuclear capable.
Go on about the fight against terrorism, but I think it's more difficult than it sounds. When you've got people like the suicide bombers, nobody knows what's going on inside their heads.
That's a good word.
Brainwashed.
Brainwashed.
Actually, into,
How does that happen then?
Well, since 10, their peers and other adults will be, teaching them that martyrdom is good, and that what they believe in it comes above all else. And their faith is strengthened into adulthood, and they end up as suicide bombers.
I was in the paper before this, that little children in countries like that, they were asking them questions, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they were saying, I want to be a martyr like my father.
Yes. Racists. We're not. I said, I'm sorry. You are. Mind you, that was a long, long time ago. A long time ago, and very ancient. Say, but she's Chinese, or, he's Sikh. Okay, he hasn't got a turban on, but he's a Sikh. What are you going out with him for? And this one, yeah. Hello, nice lad, but he's a Muslim. What are people afraid of?
People afraid of...
And maybe I'm being too simplistic there. It's very complicated, I know. But what do people fear? Holly?
People being different because they don't know what they're like and they're not used to it.
Mm.
So they think they're used to all one sort of people, so when somebody new comes along...
But are we all the same?
No, we're all different.
Not at all. So. This is the whole point, isn't it? We are different. And if we weren't different, wouldn't it be a boring world?
People like to think that everybody's the same because it's easier to understand.
Sorry?
Because it's easier to understand.
Okay, let's just take up...
Start nice and easy. Can you give me...
Any duds, give them to Miss Wills. We are finding dud parlours because, you know, children so they're... Lesson 3, you're on about, Science 9. Science 9. And man knows what he has to do with the children there.
No, we're going to do that one on TV. Just leave it. I just want you to know please.
I have never even thought actually it was mentioned. And by the end of you know, trying to... I'm so organised.
No.
Also,
I'm not home.
So I know where the
Yeah, I know. We haven't got any middle ones now, have we? So what? Oh, this is what's happening. What's that go? Two light blues, two correct. Yeah? And then you need...
with kids to bring the subject in life. Meaningful. That's a child's account of his visit. Oh, I'm very interview.